Have you ever pondered why it's so difficult to prioritize yourself without feeling selfish? This question, my friends, lies at the heart of a common struggle that many of us grapple with. Welcome to Reflective Rise, your window to timeless wisdom. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel for all future wisdom bits. The delicate dance of balancing personal needs with the demands and expectations of others. It's like walking a tightrope, isn't it? On one side, you have your own aspirations, dreams, and needs. On the other, you have your responsibilities, the expectations of your loved ones, society, and the world at large. The question then becomes, how does one maintain this balance? Is there a way to prioritize oneself without falling into the trap of egocentrism? The answer may lie in an ancient philosophy that has weathered the test of time. A philosophy that champions moderation, wisdom, and inner peace. Yes, we're talking about Stoicism, a potential beacon in the tumultuous seas of life's demands. Let's delve into the ancient philosophy of Stoicism and how it can guide us in self-prioritization. Stoicism, a philosophy born in the Stoa of ancient Greece, has much to teach us about the art of prioritizing oneself. Emerging from the bustling markets and political debates of Athens, Stoicism was born. Its cradle was the Stoa Poikile, or the painted porch, where the philosopher Zeno of Citium began to teach his ideas around the 3rd century BC. Stoicism, unlike other philosophical schools of the time, was not concerned with lofty metaphysical questions. Instead, it focused on practical wisdom and guiding individuals to lead a virtuous life. So, what does Stoicism teach us? At its core, it presents 3 fundamental principles. First, the focus on virtue. Stoics believed that virtue is the highest form of good and that it alone leads to happiness. It's not about external achievements or possessions, but the quality of your character and your actions, which brings us to the second principle, acceptance of things we cannot control. Stoics understood that much of life is beyond our direct influence. They taught that we should focus our energy on things we can change, such as our attitudes, actions, and responses, rather than fretting over what we can't. The third principle is the pursuit of tranquility. Stoics didn't advocate for a life devoid of feelings, but one where emotions are understood and managed to maintain inner peace. This tranquility isn't an absence of trouble, but the ability to remain composed and resilient in the face of it. These principles, when woven together, form the fabric of Stoicism. It's a philosophy that doesn't promise a life without hardship, but offers tools to navigate it with grace and wisdom. It teaches us to value our character above all else, to accept the inevitable, and to seek tranquility amidst chaos. By embracing these principles, we can begin to prioritize ourselves in a way that is both fulfilling and beneficial to those around us. We can become the master of our emotions, our actions, and ultimately our lives. These principles, when applied, can significantly transform our approach to self-prioritization. Let's explore the life of Epictetus, a prominent Stoic philosopher who epitomized the principles of Stoicism. Born into slavery in the Roman Empire, Epictetus's early life was fraught with hardship and adversity. But rather than succumbing to despair, Epictetus found solace and strength in Stoic philosophy. His master, Epaphroditus, allowed him to study philosophy. And it was in these teachings that Epictetus discovered the tools to prioritize his well-being and cultivate inner peace, despite his circumstances. Epictetus used Stoicism as a guide to navigate through the turbulence of life. He believed that while we cannot control everything that happens to us, we can control how we respond. This principle became the cornerstone of his philosophy and his life. Epictetus didn't allow his status as a slave to define him or dictate his happiness. Instead, he took control of his reactions, his emotions, and ultimately his peace of mind. After gaining his freedom, Epictetus dedicated his life to teaching others the principles of Stoicism. He opened a philosophical school in Nicopolis where he continued to emphasize the importance of inner tranquility and self-prioritization. For Epictetus, the key to happiness was accepting the things we cannot change and focusing on what we can control, our own thoughts and actions. His teachings have resonated through the ages, inspiring countless individuals to adopt a Stoic approach to life. Epictetus taught us that our circumstances do not define us. It is our reactions to these circumstances that shape our reality. By choosing to remain unswayed by external events, we can cultivate inner peace and prioritize our own well-being. Epictetus' teachings also highlight the importance of self-awareness and reflection. He believed in the power of the mind to transform adversity into an opportunity for personal growth. Through Stoicism, we can learn to view challenges not as obstacles, but as opportunities to learn, grow, and strengthen our character. Epictetus' story demonstrates the power of Stoicism in prioritizing one's own peace and happiness. How can we apply the Stoic principles in our contemporary lives to prioritize ourselves better? You may wonder. The answer lies in understanding and embracing the essence of Stoicism, which is about control, acceptance, and perspective. Let's start with control. Stoics believe that we have total control over our thoughts, emotions, and actions. This principle can be applied to set healthy boundaries. Say, you've been asked to work late, but you have plans for self-care. By recognizing that you have control over your actions, you can choose to say no and prioritize your well-being. Next, we have acceptance. Stoicism teaches us to accept things as they are, not as we want them to be. It means accepting that some things are beyond our control, such as other people's actions or the weather. This principle can help manage stress. When we stop trying to control the uncontrollable, we free ourselves from unnecessary stress and anxiety, making space for self-care and growth. Lastly, Stoicism emphasizes perspective. It encourages us to view things objectively without letting emotions cloud our judgment. This can be a powerful tool in decision-making. For instance, when faced with a difficult decision, instead of being swayed by fear or desire, we can take a step back and look at the situation objectively. This can lead to choices that prioritize our well-being and align with our values. Stoicism is not about disregarding emotions or being indifferent. Instead, it's about understanding our emotions, accepting what we can't control, and making decisions based on rational thought. It's about acknowledging our needs and making them a priority. It's about saying no when necessary and yes to things that truly matter. So by incorporating Stoicism into our daily lives, we can learn to prioritize ourselves better. We can set boundaries, manage stress, and make decisions that serve our well-being. We can live more fulfilling lives, not dictated by external circumstances, but guided by our inner wisdom and values. Stoicism therefore offers a practical framework for self-prioritization in our fast-paced world. It's not just an ancient philosophy, but a relevant and powerful tool for modern life. Let's consider a modern example to illustrate how Stoicism can guide us in self-prioritization. Imagine a woman named Sarah. She's an ambitious corporate lawyer in a bustling city, juggling high-pressure cases, demanding clients, and a hectic personal life. Sarah's days are filled to the brim, leaving little time for herself. She often feels stressed and overwhelmed, her own needs and desires pushed aside in the pursuit of success and the expectations of others. One day Sarah stumbles upon the teachings of Stoicism. Intrigued, she starts to delve into the works of Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus. She learns about the Stoic principles of focusing on what's within her control, accepting the inevitable, and prioritizing her own well-being. Sarah realizes that her stress and anxiety stem from trying to control external factors and neglecting her own needs. Inspired by Stoicism, Sarah decides to implement these principles in her life. She begins by identifying what's truly within her control, her actions, reactions, and attitudes. She lets go of the pressure from uncontrollable factors, such as her clients' demands or the outcome of her cases. This simple shift in perspective brings her a sense of calm and clarity. Next, Sarah embraces the Stoic practice of accepting the inevitable. She acknowledges that she can't win every case and she can't please everyone. This acceptance frees her from the fear of failure and the burden of others' expectations. Finally, Sarah starts prioritizing her well-being. She sets boundaries at work, carves out time for self-care, and cultivates a healthier work-life balance. She realizes that by taking care of herself, she can better serve her clients and perform at her best. Sarah's story illustrates the power of Stoicism in modern life. It shows how these ancient principles can help us navigate the complexities of today's world, reduce stress, and reclaim our time and energy for what truly matters, ourselves. Through Stoicism, we can find the strength to prioritize ourselves without guilt or regret. To prioritize oneself the Stoic way is to focus on what is within our control and let go of what is not. This profound statement encapsulates the essence of the Stoic philosophy and its application in self-prioritization. As we journeyed through the narratives of balance, Stoicism, and the life of Epictetus, we've uncovered the core principles of this ancient philosophy. We've seen how it has been applied in the past and how it continues to impact our modern lives. Let's take a moment to recap the main points we've discussed. Stoicism, at its core, is about understanding the dichotomy of control, recognizing that there are things within our control and things outside of it. It's about accepting the inevitable and focusing our energy on what we can influence. This understanding allows us to navigate life with a sense of calm and resilience, preserving our mental energy for the things that matter most. The Story of Epictetus, a former slave-turned-Stoic philosopher, is a testament to the power of this philosophy. Despite his circumstances, he found freedom in his mind, demonstrating that our external environment does not define our internal state. His teachings remind us that we have the power to choose our responses, regardless of the situations we find ourselves in. In our modern world, Stoicism serves as a guide to maintaining equilibrium amidst the chaos. It encourages us to take a step back, to observe without judgment, and to respond with wisdom and composure. It teaches us to prioritize our mental well-being, to cultivate inner peace, and to focus on personal growth. An example of this is the practice of daily reflection, an essential component of Stoic philosophy. By taking the time each day to reflect on our actions, thoughts, and emotions, we can gain a deeper understanding of ourselves. This self-awareness allows us to make more informed decisions, to learn from our mistakes, and to continually strive for improvement. Now, how does all of this relate to prioritizing oneself? Well, by focusing on what is within our control, we naturally prioritize our needs and well-being. We learn to set boundaries, to say no when necessary, and to invest in activities that nurture our growth and happiness. In doing so, we not only enhance our own lives, but also contribute positively to those around us. So, the Stoics' guide to prioritizing oneself isn't about self-indulgence or neglecting others. It's about understanding our capacity, leveraging our strengths, and cultivating a mindset that enables us to navigate life's challenges with grace and resilience. It's about acknowledging that our well-being is a priority and that it's okay to put ourselves first. Remember, prioritizing yourself is not an act of selfishness, but an act of self-love. And as Stoicism teaches us, it's within our power to do so. In the end, remember this: you matter, your well-being matters, and it's okay to make it a priority. As we draw our discussion to a close, let's take a moment to reflect. Stoicism isn't about denying your needs or suppressing your desires. It's about understanding what truly matters, what can be controlled, and where your energy is best spent. It's about leading a life of virtue, wisdom, and inner peace. In the grand scheme of things, prioritizing yourself isn't a selfish act. It's an act of self-love, self-care, and importantly, self-preservation. It's about making choices that align with your values and contribute to your growth as an individual. So don't shy away from putting yourself first. Embrace the Stoic principles, take control of your life. Be mindful of your choices, your actions, and their impact on your well-being. Let the wisdom of the Stoics guide you on this journey. Thank you for joining us today. Keep prioritizing yourself the Stoic way. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe to stay connected for all future wisdom.